Ho. Ho. Koreatown coming to you. Oh.
Fuck all that. This is episode 5,
Hana Market.
prison series.
You.
We're back. Highly
Bars.
requested. I've had a lot of people asking about
Yes.
what happened to the prison series. Did you guys forget about the prison series? Does Hector fucking suck? Yes, but
Sucks big dogs.
but prison series is not forgotten about. It is here. It's back.
Here,
And we
back,
got-
and live. Yeah.
The previous prison series episode, we ended off 3 months in to federal prison. We're gonna continue off from there, so we're gonna get started on that. My boy,
Third month, end of third month.
take us through it.
This is what I fucking remember, you fucks. This is the point where you run into a few psychological problems from being in there so long. You kind of get lonely and purposeless. You understand that you don't know when you're going to get out, but at the same time, you can't just watch days go by and do nothing all day. So at this point was where I got really into going into the library. The library was kind of a new haven,
Okay.
if you want to say.
Sure.
Right? You go there, you have no imagination, you know, you're kind of lost as far as what you want to do and how you feel about the scenario, right? Because you get lost in it. You get lost to being there. Because at 3 months, right, you're already, if you're past 21 days of something, you're already used to it.
Right.
So being there for 3 months, you're like, oh man, time to go through the motions again till I get out.
You had mentioned a couple of stints of SEG.
I'm gonna go into this.
Yeah.
This is why I'm going with the
Yeah. Okay.
psychological.
Okay. Yeah. Because that's kind of
Yeah.
as soon as you mentioned that, I was like, oh wait,
Yeah.
it sounds kind of like
that's,
SEG.
that's a good call on you.
So, how does SEG affect you at the beginning versus now at this 3 month mark?
In the beginning, you went to SEG not because you wanted to go to SEG. In the beginning, you went to SEG because you were deliberate on being a certain way and you don't want to get pushed around. So people came in your way. You either fucked them up or you did something with a purpose and you went to SEG and you accepted the challenges. At 3 months, you're going to SEG to have fun. And what I mean by this,
What the fuck does that even mean?
dude, you feel like, I don't want to be dramatic, but you feel like you're basically dead because you're in a fucking hole. You don't know. If I told you the fucking reasoning, you don't know when you're going to get out.
Yeah.
You still have to wait for court. You have to wait for 2 court dates to voluntarily get out. That could
Right.
be anywhere from 3 months, another 3 months, to 2 years. You don't know. You don't know.
So
You
you could be in there for a pretty long time.
In the very first episode, I told you guys, best case scenario,
Yeah.
this is what my lawyer said. Best case scenario, I'm in there for a few months. I say voluntary departure, I get out. Worst case scenario, I'm fighting my case 7 to 9 years. That's
Jesus.
worst case
Yeah.
scenario.
Yeah.
But that's like minimal. So if you want to do minimal, and you want to see the mass of what would happen, looking at 2 to 4 years of fighting your case.
And that's what was going on in your head. You're like, this could be.
This is gonna be 2 to 4
Yeah,
years.
Yeah. Yeah.
At 2 to 4 years, because things of that psychology I just explained,
Yeah.
you become stagnant in life. And other than the library, which was important, but it's only going to do so much. You can only hide yourself from that. What makes it interesting is doing things that you're not supposed to do.
What do you mean by that?
Making wine,
What
smoking
the-
weed, maybe grabbing a line if that's what you're into.
Jesus.
Right? And basically it became so boring and so stagnant that I started fighting with people.
Just to like get your rocks off.
I'll tell you one thing. There was a CO in there that was a prick. At this point,
Yeah.
one day, I think it was a Tuesday, because I remember I was doing I was the barber that day. This guy told me one time, he's like, don't take so long with everybody. And he was a pretty new guy.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, don't take too long with certain people. And I don't know what happened. I just fucking blew up right
You
there.
just snapped on him.
I spat in this guy, and that was one of the greatest spits of my career. in my spitting career. I spat directly into this guy's pupil. Okay? I swear to God, this guy had fucking chlamydia in his eye. I swear to fucking God, this guy had chlamydia in his eye. I didn't see him after that, but I think he might have got transferred. But I went to SEG at that point.
Yeah.
Week and a half for that.
Okay.
I spat directly in his eye, and I just dropped my shit and I bounced.
Yeah.
Another time, I had a bet with a guy, and this was over some NFL playoff shit.
Okay.
And this guy was a mouthy kid.
Sure. Okay.
He was a mouthy kid. He was El Salvadorian, but he wasn't MS. He was just singular.
Okay. Yeah. So
He wasn't
affiliated.
He wasn't affiliated.
Okay.
He was just
Some regular.
he was just a
farmhand.
regular. I think he was a robber, if I'm not
I was just
mistaken.
gonna ask you how he even got.
Yeah, he was just a multiple robber.
Yeah.
Anyway, this guy lost to me. He lost about 37 soups, I believe. And generally the smart idea is to go in the guy's cell and beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
This is how fucked I didn't care. And that's dangerous.
Yeah.
Because it's dangerous to you physically right there, but
Yes.
it's also dangerous in your future.
How so? Sorry.
You cause
with
injury.
what regard? Oh yeah. Okay.
You get sued. Remember, we go back to that first
yes,
guy.
Yes.
You can get sued very quickly. Thank God this guy didn't have that kind of potential
Yeah,
to
yeah.
sue me.
Yes.
Didn't have even the understanding. He was just a dog,
Yeah.
just like I was a dog.
Mm-hmm.
And all I remember was when he told me, he's like, man, I'm not giving you shit. And he told me that with arrogance. I remember getting off that fucking plastic chair in my Crocs, just grabbing this guy's fucking shoulder and just going fucking smash
Yeah.
on his face. And he was doing the same thing to me. Like, have you ever seen like hockey brawls?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Literally it.
Or
Literally
like-
a
yeah,
hockey brawl.
yeah.
Right there, just happening.
Or like that Don Fry.
Yeah.
Not
yeah.
Sakuraba. What I forget what the guy's name is. You're talking about.
Yeah. Don Fry, and it was Sakuraba, bro.
Was it Sakuraba?
I don't know. Sure, it was Sakuraba, but
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
but
I know.
That clip with
That
Don
Asian
Fry,
guy with the
when he's-
fucking
when
Don
they're just
Fry, yeah.
fucking going at it, literally, each on the face.
So basically, was that they maced us. They just maced the
sure.
shit out of us.
Yeah.
I remember coming off the mace and understanding where I was, and I came off the mace, and I think it was like midnight sometime, and I was in Seg. They dragged me. I don't know how I got there. Like I remember getting dragged
You
and
just
stuff.
came
like,
to in Seg.
You can't see
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
And you're coughing and shit. It's like the worst thing. It's worse than getting tased, because tased, you just wake up, you shit yourself. Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? What that shit, and you go on your way. Like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
happened. But fucking that. Yeah, so everything kind of came stagnant, man. At a certain point in time, I remember talking to my lawyer, and I had no hope. And it broke me, man. It definitely fucking broke me. And I remember talking to my lawyer, and I'm like, I think we're gonna have to pick voluntary departure, because I have a future outside of this place, and I could probably win if I came out versus being in here, if I just waited. Because if you guys remember, because my case, it was fucked up, but it wasn't insane. Like it wasn't I didn't kill no fucking child. Like
Yeah,
I didn't,
yeah.
you know what I mean? So it wasn't super crazy. So the rules are you have to stay out of the States for a certain amount of time, and then you can ask for expungement. Now there's
Right.
certain cases that you can't ask for expungement, but mine, there's a chance. So that's kind of what I went to. The most powerful thing, then nothing really happened from 3 to the end. Nothing really happened that was significant. Outside going to Seg, just fighting people, man. It was insane. Like, I would fight people on ping pong. I would fight people
What the
over
fuck?
changing a channel.
What had you so unhinged? Was it just
I
you just didn't give a fuck, and at that point there was no barrier between your emotions and your reactions, or were you just looking at it as a way to like literally feel something?
Because you're so grounded in that area,
Yeah.
because you only have so many things to do, it's to feel something new, to feel something
Yeah.
special. Because every day is the same, and you get sick of that. It's poison. It's poison. You wake up, you know exactly what the possibilities of the days are.
Yeah.
That's poison.
Yeah.
You want it to be in a way where it's unpredictable. That's what makes life fun. Otherwise, everybody would be suicidal. If I knew exactly what's going to happen, that's why time machines are a bad idea when it comes to society. Because if you know exactly what you're going to do, you're going to be forever in the process of changing your future.
Right.
Forever. And that's endless. That's a curse on its own. So please remove this. I don't want to see.
That first one, I could do that on loop all day. That was so good.
Yeah.
This one, oh, not that one.
So, anyway, I don't want to go into details of like fighting and shit because it's like cringy and shit. It just sounds like the same fucking.
Oh, so
fight.
well, yeah, I was gonna say when you hear one, you kind of hear,
hear them
unless,
all.
Unless there's like one or two like actual unique
There was
ones.
good ones where like they try to pull out
A shiv?
a shiv or a stolen shaving knife. Not a shaving knife, but
Fuck.
a straight edge razor.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because people think that's like really dangerous, but it's not.
What do you mean?
Because if you have enough
The
distance, you can
razor's
just
not dangerous?
no, you kick the shit out of the guy. Most of these
What if
guys
you don't
aren't.
see it? Oh, they don't hide it? Like, what if
They
you just
can
had
hide it, but the
what if you
distance.
just, what if you just
He
had
has
it-
to reach you with your hand. You can reach him with your foot.
But what I mean is like if he's got if he's got it in between his fingers and you don't even
Okay.
notice it,
He has to reach me. No,
fair.
I don't have to reach him. I could kick him.
Yeah, okay.
So there's no competition there.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
If you know how to fight somewhat, those things aren't even an issue really, unless you're an idiot or you risk it. Going into my last case, where it's a sacrifice you have to make because you have to understand that like your mom is only so old and she's only gonna see you
Right.
for so long.
How
and
often were you talking to your mom when you were down in prison?
This is fucked. Not at all.
Did she even know?
To this day, my mom doesn't really fully know what really happened.
Well, she
Like-
will now, I guess.
She
I mean, if she
this is the
listens to
thing. This is the thing with my mom. Me and my mom, initially we had a lot of fights, arguments, but it's turned into something more stoic. So
Okay.
at a certain point, she has the unspoken rule that we don't even talk about it really.
Right.
Like she doesn't bring it up and I don't bring it up to her. Like the last thing I want to talk to my mom is like prison, because she went to prison and I went to prison.
Yeah.
So
But
whatever
she-
I gotta say, she's already seen.
But she knows. Or you
She
think
knows, but this is the thing. She knows that I
Okay,
went.
Yeah. But that's it. That's as far as it goes.
That's
really.
as far as it goes.
Fair.
It doesn't go deeper than that.
Yeah, okay.
It's not something I want to open up. It's.
I don't really think. I guess you wouldn't really have to. It's more of as long as she does know.
Listen, man.
that it happened.
Whatever you guys want to say, it's an embarrassing moment
course.
as a son to a mother that you want to go up to your mother. It's not a brag. It's not like, oh, I'm tough. It's like,
Yeah.
I was tough too. I fought for fucking human rights.
Yeah.
You fought for what, you bitch? Like, what do I got to say to a
Yeah.
woman like that? You
Yeah,
know,
of course.
it might be different for women that or moms that never went to prison. It might be a different situation.
Sure.
But for me and my mom, it's like embarrassing.
Yeah.
You know, it's fucking purely embarrassing. Like every time I think about it and I'm with her, I get goosebumps because I'm like grossed out by how that happened,
Who you used to be,
who I used to
or
be.
like who the person was that got
Because
you.
my mom has gone through like worse.
Yes.
So, like my problems and tribulations are like pathetic,
Yeah.
and that patheticness is like cringy.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Recognizing that in itself is a big step, though.
Yeah, I guess
You wouldn't have had that right away.
No, it came with time.
Well, that's what I mean. So that's what I mean by a big step in the sense of
Yeah,
growth.
yeah,
It's a signal of growth over time.
yeah. I guess it's a good thing. But yeah, I remember it was a mixed emotions at the court hearing. It was like, I can't ever be successful in the States again. Some of my dreams are completely gone because I'm gonna make this decision right now. Like
Right.
I can't. There's certain things I cannot do and I will not be able to do. And I've paid the burden just watching. I'll give you a simple fact. Just watching you guys go, watching my friends go to the States.
Yeah, of course.
Like friends outside of you guys.
Yeah.
You know, guys that travel often. You know, and it's sad because I was one of those guys that would travel often. You know, I would be back and forth with California or
Yeah.
Florida like pretty often,
Yeah.
every few months. But it's sad. I understood it at a point where I had to sacrifice any kind of dream I had in order to have any time with my mother or my family or my friends, because it's endless. Like in there, you'll get lost in the sauce, like Gucci Man says, man. Like you'll get lost in your case and you'll be selfish. When you snap out of it, it was a sad moment for me, but it was a happy moment as well. When I said like I want voluntary departure, and then 3 days later, 1:30 in the morning, they picked me up, and this was the most beautiful thing, man. When the agents pick you up,
Yeah.
they take you and they don't know who you are. They don't know what kind of behavior you have.
Right.
I was one of the people that I made a mistake. You understand? I made a mistake. I raged at a certain point. It ended up costing me, not years, but months and a lot of money, like thousands of dollars of money. It cost me a lot of money. Like,
in some ways, it has been years because it's not just the immediate what
the
you
long
went
term.
through. It's the ramifications of that, which you just mentioned right now. So it goes further than just your time in the hole, or whatever the terminology people want to throw around. It's more than just that. It's
how it affects you afterwards.
it's all the opportunities that you just mentioned that
Yeah.
that will have to wait for a very very long time, or may
Yeah.
not even happen.
May not ever happen.
But it's that. So in that sense, it's years.
Listen, man, nobody wants to. As crazy as it sounds, like I always wanted to be somebody that makes people laugh. Whatever the reason, whether that's comedian, whether that's podcast, or whether it's even at a young age, I want to make people laugh. I just didn't know how to organize it into a career. That's my dream career. It's not anything else. That is. So knowing that, you can't be famous really and have this kind of track record. You just can't.
Right.
Like, it would have to take a lot. You'd kind of have to come with a Louis C.K. apology. Maybe not as creepy as him because he
he went for different reasons.
Yeah, but like me, it would be like, I don't know. I don't know anybody that's looked up to when they do shit like this. I don't know anybody.
I'm trying to think of like the bigger guys who are
I can't call anybody.
big now.
Yeah. Ooh, maybe some niche guys from like.
Well,
No Jumper or
it'd just
something.
be, not even that, but it'd just be like YouTube guys. In terms of like mainstream, I don't know, but YouTube guys, they're like ex-cons that'll do stuff on YouTube.
Just to get shows at like Laugh Factory and stuff, you can't be this kind of guy. You can't.
Yeah.
You just in comedy, you can't. It's just comedy. It's like, yeah, you might be dirty and gross, but your track record is clean.
Right.
Right? You can't be this. There's not many Joey Diaz's out there.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that, right? Those guys get fucking filtered out.
Yeah.
Very few of those guys stick through it, because if you have this kind of track record, you're not going to stick through these blue collar kind of. Being a comedian, man, is very hard to start. Go be a comedian, like where you're making money.
Yeah. No.
Insane.
It's true.
So, that being said, let's move on from that. These Fed guys, man, they didn't know me. So, coming out of prison, the Feds, it was interesting. 1:30 in the morning, they wake my ass up, literally throw me in a van, garbage bag, everything. I'm in fucking Reds, right?
Yeah.
I got chains on my legs, chains on my hands, like this. I get pushed in because the COs know me over there. Those are the guys that are loading me on the fucking van.
Right.
So they're transporting me, and it's one of those vans that look like
Pedo vans?
no,
Shit? Like
no,
what?
no, not at all.
Like Sprinter vans?
No,
Mercedes Sprinters?
much more like you can't escape out of this thing.
Oh,
it's
sorry.
like a fucking bank truck.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And they have an officer sitting with you in the back with a fucking shotty.
Yeah.
Right, just in case.
I've seen those in movies where it's like it's just 4 people. You got 2 guys are being transported and like two like armed personnel with like long guns.
You know what my lawyer told me when I hugged her and said thank you for your work, and she said whatever you do, don't try to escape, because they could kill you legally and not
And
let
there'll be
you.
no ramifications.
There's no ramifications of them killing you.
Yeah.
That's very scary,
That is, yeah.
because you're like,
What if you make the wrong
you trust
step?
this guy to be reasonable.
Exactly. Yeah, I was just gonna say like, what
You
if
trust this guy to be reasonable?
What if you make the wrong step and all of a sudden like boom? That was probably going through your head the whole time. Huh?
No, because I was like, I'm going home, man.
Right.
I'm going home. Like that's
Yeah,
what it is, man.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
thinking like of all the possibilities of all the things, and you have to understand it's like a dog getting neglected and going to a good home. You understand that there's possibilities, and even though you could only stay in a certain country and you might not have passport rights or anything like that, you know that hey, today I can get out of the house. When I get to Vancouver, I can get out of the house, and with the $40, $50, $60 I have in my fucking pocket, which I came out in prison, they paid me because I worked in there. It was interesting.
Oh yes.
They-
How
I
does
came
that
out
work?
with like not like a few hundred, but it was like
Few
200 something dollars.
Yeah.
I went in there with $60.
That's so funny.
So it was pretty funny. So anyway, these guys take me. They take me. I had a connecting flight to Seattle. These guys take me to Seattle. I'm going in with Reds. So I'm going through an airport, 9 in the morning. San Diego airport is fucking
Packed. Packed on packed.
Hot ass dime pieces. I've never seen girls. I hadn't seen girls in like months.
Yeah.
A better part of a year. I
Yeah.
didn't see girls. Like at all.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing dime pieces, man. California dime pieces left and right. Like the things that are going through my mind, I'm insane. I'm seeing foods I haven't seen. I'm smelling things I haven't seen. I haven't smelled cologne. I haven't seen shoes. Like,
Yeah.
dude, you guys don't understand. I went in there. I missed my birthday. I missed Thanksgiving. I missed Christmas. I missed New Year's. I missed my mom's birthday. I missed like, I had a buddy that, like, this is, I haven't really said this to anybody. He killed himself while I was in there, not because of me or anything, but like,
He had his
really
own
killed.
things going
He
on.
overdosed
Okay.
while I was in there, and I
Yeah.
was very close to this guy. So it was like that was the most sentimental thing that I lost while I was in there, and it was like, you can't get that shit back, and that's the
course.
thing. Money can't buy. You know, you could have all the money in the world, that guy's dead. So there was these things that you do lose while you're in there, but again, there's no benefit of being in there if you don't know for sure. That's such a big curse people don't understand. In Seattle, when we had a connecting flight, I had an opportunity to talk to these guys not only on the flight but on the way there, and I kind of made them understand that, like, hey man, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to go home.
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to escape in Seattle. Like there's nothing here for me.
Yeah.
Let me please change my clothes. Let me please use my money. I haven't had real food in months.
These guys that were with you, were they the same guys from prison, or they were
No.
just constantly handing you off
No,
to like
no.
next?
No,
Agents.
these are like federal agents. They're not COs.
So
These are legitimate
what,
agents.
did that handoff happen right away, or was that
This handoff happened as when I went from the feds.
Yes.
They took me in a van. Those COs there were the same
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah. Okay.
Once I came into downtown holding facility, like before when I went from court,
Yeah.
downtown holding facility for
Yeah,
like
yeah.
7
Yeah.
days.
Yeah. Yeah. So
That facility,
that's where that handoff
that
was.
handoff happened.
And then at that point, were those marshals?
Marshals.
Those were marshals. From there, it's just were they the same guys all the way through, or was it just like handoff
Same
from
guys,
marshals?
can't be different guys.
Wow. So those
Yeah.
guys took you all the way from San Diego, basically to YVR.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And what was interesting about those guys is they're
Those guys are legit.
personable guys. You know,
Yeah.
They can detect what your intentions are, and they can detect who you are.
Those guys have a much higher barrier of entry to get into. Like, it's from what I've
Yeah.
heard, it's super easy to be a CO. It's like whatever.
You don't have to have any education
Nothing.
to be a CO.
But to be a marshal is
You're
kind of it's
bachelor
a
minimum.
big deal. It's
Yeah.
a big deal.
You're basically a detective
Yeah. Yeah.
At that
yeah,
point.
but like but nationwide.
in that. Yeah.
Nationwide.
In that
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
What was interesting that these guys weren't two Asian guys.
Yeah.
Literally the smallest guys I've ever seen, but legit as fuck.
Yeah, I believe that.
Legit as
were they
fuck.
older? Were they younger?
Mid-30s,
Okay.
mid-30s, probably late 30s, maybe.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's
Could have
hard
been
to tell
40.
with
You don't know.
Asians. I look older than both of them. I'll tell you that. So anyway, we had a problem when I was going on the first airplane, because I think the lady there didn't know the rules and the ramifications.
Right.
She's like one of the flight attendants that calls off, okay, military, okay, disabled.
Yes.
We're there. And I'm like, fuck. I'm looking at the lines. I'm like, Jesus Christ, we're going to have to wait these lines. Benefit of being a felon. You board first.
The one benefit. You get on with the veterans and disabled people.
Fuck the veterans and fuck the disabled people. You get on first,
That's
motherfucker.
hilarious.
They told, dude, there was literally a fucking grandma on a wheelchair about to get boarded. Swear to fucking Jesus and Buddha, bro. This guy went up to the fucking woman,
Yeah.
and the other guy held my chain.
Yeah.
As we went and we talked to the guy that's helping the woman. So also the part of the flight crew.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't stop boarding this woman. We need to go first.
That's crazy.
The eyes when I entered that airport, I will never forget, because there is something interesting about being the only one wearing reds in chains. People look at you like you're
Were
the
you
most.
in Reds when you were being transported on
Yes!
the fucking airport?
Dude, I was on the flight with reds. I was
That's what
on
I mean.
the
You're
flight,
on the flight with Reds.
on the
Crazy.
flight through the airport, San Diego airport,
Jesus.
with
I
Reds.
don't think I've ever seen that. I've traveled a lot. I have yet to see
It's an interesting sight.
anybody in Reds or any kind of color, any kind of fucking
It
change
was
at all.
It was a lot of one sign, one face of everybody. It was like, what the fuck
Yeah, I
did
believe
this guy do?
It's so rare to see.
No, but
Like I said, all
from
the flights
kids,
I've taken.
from kids to like 70, 80-year-olds, when they saw me and they saw the me going in,
Yeah.
the same faces, the same feelings. I could just sense it. It was like, what did this guy do?
Yeah.
Not that they were on my side or anything, but they were just curious. Possibly even nosy. Anyway, long story short, go to San Diego. I get uncuffed. These guys finally trust me. I go bathroom change. I come out. I had a backpack when I went in there with deodorant and cologne and shit, and they gave me all that back. So I finally felt good, man. I did a quick little ass wash on the
what do
sinks.
they call that shit? Swamp wash? I forget what it's called, but yeah,
It's called an ass wash on the sink. I'm telling you right now. And there was a guy that walked in while they have those sensors where it's like, and I'm washing my ass with soap because me as a Middle Eastern person, I wash my ass. I don't wipe. So just imagine being like many months in prison
Christ.
having to wipe your ass. It was terrible. Like it always felt not clean.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So first thing I did, wash my fucking ass. This Asian guy came in, and I'm washing my ass. He's looking at me, and honestly, he wasn't surprised because I'm sure that, he was like, yeah, if he knew the problems, he'd probably be like, I wash my ass too, bro.
I'd fucking be there with you,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah. So there's no problems there. The first food I got, I went up to these guys. I'm like, I'm hungry, man. It's after I washed my ass.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, Wendy's is looking really good. Wendy's is
Can I
looking
spend
really
can I
good.
spend some of my own money and fucking
No, this is what I said. I said, I will buy you guys food because we had 3 hours to wait.
Yeah.
And these guys were solid guys, man. I mean, if you can find friends like these guys, it's probably keep them, man. They bought me food.
Really?
They bought me food there. And it was like, men were stoic, but it was like unnecessarily nice.
Yeah.
These people don't know you. They don't need to do this. Why would they pay you? Why would they buy you food when you're a felon? Right? From their aspect, like I'm a garbage person.
Yeah.
So just the fact that they bought me food was like a compliment.
Yeah.
Because it's like, in this 7 hours that I've known you, I want to buy you food.
Yeah.
And I believe in their line of work, they maybe see this from time to time.
Sure.
Somebody that just made a mistake and they're kind of repenting, and it is what it is. So that was nice. Coming out of YVR was hilarious because I was in my own country.
Yeah.
Right? So there was a problem coming with YVR because I'm sure you know. YVR, when you're getting released, those guys that work there, they have no authority over you. Like they have to release you. It's not like they can hold you there. They have no rights over you. Like,
Didn't know this.
okay, so because I have a few felonies in States means nothing in Canada.
Because you're a citizen.
Because I'm a
Yes.
citizen.
'Cause I was gonna say, if you're American, they'd be like, fuck off.
So this is the funny fucking thing. So those guys, there was an interesting feeling in the air and with these marshals. They know that I'm in my city.
Yeah, because the marshals are in there and
Yeah.
they're federal agents, and they're there with not their counterparts, but with like federal agents from Canada. So they can't be talked down to. Like, these marshals know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
And they're not gonna be told what the fuck's going on if they know what the fuck's going on. So I can imagine that interaction being really interesting.
Aside from that, that was good. But aside from that, the interesting thing was, I was like, we got so comfortable. I was like, where are you guys staying?
Yeah, sure.
I'll assist you with, because they had to be there for 2 days to
Right.
get the flight back.
Yeah.
It's like, where are you guys staying? Oh, we're staying by Richmond. And they start being very vague.
Okay.
Oh, and I started thinking, what are these guys thinking? They think I'm connected in a certain way where they feel that their safety is like needed.
Sure.
So they need to be vague about it. So I started being like, you guys need to go here. Listen, I'll give you my phone number. We can meet up.
Yeah.
And it was an instant no.
Yeah.
We
It's
are
like,
marshals.
It was almost like like a line that you cross in a way.
we're not your friends.
Yeah.
We are marshals. Don't
Right.
take our niceness.
We were being friendly,
Yeah.
but we're not friends.
yeah, we're not your
So
friends.
you saw that switch.
That switch was cool. So they're like, okay, you're all set. It was kind of like a fatherly goodbye. You're all set. You're good. You know that father that doesn't show you affection.
Sure.
You're all set. You're good. You don't need any paper. You don't. No, I'm good. So they went. They exited, and they just badge off. You know, I don't know if you know what that means,
No.
but they basically like, from the moment. There's credentials that are accredited everywhere.
Sure.
Their badge is one of those. They're a federal agent.
Yeah, of
so if
course.
they cross Canada, like, they're not gonna get questioned.
Yeah, of course.
They're federal agents.
Yes.
It's been known that they're gonna cross. Like before they cross,
They're already getting cleared. Yeah.
they
That's
get
right,
cleared.
that's right,
So
that's
it's
right.
like a fast pass. They're not waiting for me. I'm going to checkouts where YVR gets checked out.
Yeah.
Right? Where the, not the crazy people, but the people that are like flagged.
Yeah.
It's like this guy came out of
Secondary.
prison.
Secondary. Yeah.
Yeah, boom, flag. So I go there. There's this new kid, this Caucasian kid, and I can tell he's like this goody two shoe that wants to be a cop, but he doesn't have the experience to be a cop yet.
Right.
Maybe not the education. I don't know. This kid tries to like talk to me like, back in the day, the first interaction I got in this format was called a savak. A savak is a Russian military man. That's a cliche in Middle Easterns, because back in the day, when the Shah was there was a lot of Russian influence in Iran.
Right.
There was a lot of guys cutting their hair like Yugoslavians cut their hair,
Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Straight,
Yeah.
high tops, straight, high fade.
Yes.
Right, skin fade.
Yeah.
That's the style
Yeah,
of
yeah.
a savak. This guy was trying to treat me like he's looking down at me or something. What did you do there? None of your business, bitch. And this is word by word.
Sure.
What did you do there? None of your business. Why are you coming back? None of your business. Start asking me these questions, and eventually I got aggravated, and I remembered that I don't owe this guy anything.
Sure.
I started cussing this guy like I haven't cussed people. Maybe in every decade I cuss people like fucking insane, where I
Sure.
actually remember like the stuff I was saying.
Yeah.
And I started cussing this guy like I'm actually embarrassed to say exactly, but I started cussing this guy's mother and father.
Yeah.
Because I was like, why the fuck are you asking me? Who are you? You're an overpaid security guard. Why are you asking me shit you don't need to know? Am I good to go? He's like, no, you're not good to go. I'm like, I don't have any clothes. I don't have any bag. I only have a bag. It's already been cleared. And he wanted to stop me. You know what I fucking did?
What?
I fucking said, fuck you, I'm leaving. And I bounced. He had me there for 45 minutes. I just bounced.
Right.
They came to the door, but I, like, what are you gonna do? Like, I did nothing there. Like, you're not gonna hold me. Like, what rights do you have that you're gonna hold me there?
Right. Sure.
So I'm like, fuck you. So I left. And the moment I stepped into the thing, I realized I can see the sky now.
Yeah.
And that is one of the craziest things I remember, because that feeling was one of the most uplifting feelings I've had in my life. I could see the sky, and I could see the blue sky, right? Which is not something I could see for many months.
I was just gonna ask you. So you had no chance to see the sky in prison. That's insane.
So in county I did, but in feds I didn't. And the feds was the longest portion.
Were you not in Gen Pop, in Feds, at any point?
Listen, when you're in high Gen Pop, it's not like you don't have yard time.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to picture
It's not
that. Yeah.
the movies.
Yeah.
There's not
When do you get yard time in Gen Pop? At least
like once a month, man.
That's crazy.
And it's a small yard. Like the top is like
Where like, cause I'm thinking that like when you see like
there's
Scared
a
Straight,
there's a
like
ceiling.
that really big like fucking yard where everybody's doing whatever the
No,
fuck.
bro, it's like a 20 by 20 yard.
That's
Every
crazy.
unit has its own yard.
Right. So there's no. Oh yeah. Okay. So there's no like big fucking like communal yard basically.
No.
Damn.
And like you can't. The only thing you can see outside of the yard is if you went on your chest and you looked at the drainage. There was a hole because it's the desert. And I'll explain this after the podcast.
Sure.
There's a hole, and you can see Mexico.
Oh, you mentioned this, yeah.
That's it. And
Jesus.
I would sit there on my chest for hours, just imagining what I would do when I get out.
Yeah.
And it was a good feeling, man, seeing it all happen. I believe after this that this is gonna sound ridiculous and it's gonna be controversial, but I believe guys like me need a situation like that in their life to turn things around. You need
Yeah.
a dramatic situation. Otherwise, you're too set in your ways to listen to anybody, take any advice.
Right. You kind of need that to.
You could be the most qualified person,
I don't
but
say
I
like
hear
correct
nothing.
you or straighten you out, but
You need to be overcorrected
yeah.
because you're overly incorrect, right?
Yeah,
If you're
sure.
thinking about like, these are the ideas. If you're dealing drugs, you got a key or you're doing some illegal shit, the last thing you care about is like, hey, do I give a fuck if I steal a cop car?
Yeah.
When it gets to spots like that, you kind of got to be like, whoa, this is weird. This is weird. So let's go to the questions, man. You got any questions for me?
I had a couple. I don't want to go too long because we do have a little clickety clack TikTok over here, but I guess I'll go random because I was gonna
Give me some short. We're gonna have one more.
Yeah,
after this.
I was gonna. Yeah, 'cause we will have just for people.
We'll have
who-
a finale.
Yeah, we will have a finale where we're gonna talk about like the transition, the actual trends. Because there's some moments in what you were telling us that you did mention some moments of transition. Like you
Absolutely.
mentioned, this guy. But we were gonna have another episode where we actually talk about the real transition and with the timeline and everything like that. What are you looking for, brother?
I'm good.
All right. Questions. I'm gonna do some random ones.
Yep.
Did you come across any CIs at all that you could kind of tell were CIs?
A couple.
Because that's
It's
interesting.
really hard to
Yeah.
get a glimpse.
Like how
because
would you even get the feeling that someone was a CI?
start asking you too many personal questions.
Interesting.
Asking too many personal questions.
Yeah.
And specific.
Yeah.
When did you get in? What did you do exactly?
Right.
Who's your lawyer? What do you care? Fuck you care what my lawyer is.
Yeah.
Why are you asking me one of my lawyers?
Yeah.
Who do you know in here? Who the fuck do you care? I know Gordo. That's it.
Yeah.
I know Marcel. We used to be fucking bunkies, but we can't. We don't get along. Like, why do you care? Like, why do you care? The only problem with this is we're thinking it outside, right?
Yes.
When you're in there, your perception is skewed because you're constantly in your head.
Right.
You're constantly in your head. You're constantly thinking like, oh, you're going back and forth, back and forth. That takes you out of like the present because you're constantly in your head. You're not thinking of what's going on in front of you.
Right.
So it's hard to like 100%
Critical thinking.
yeah, grasp the person who is talking to you and be like, is this a source? Is this a fucking rat?
Yeah.
Or not? Right?
Yeah.
It's easier to say now, but a few people that were like, and another thing, man, they were way too fit. They were way too
What do you
fit.
mean?
They were way too like they had nutrient. You could just tell the guy's face. A guy that comes out of prison doesn't look like,
Great.
these misconceptions of guys being jacked and
Yeah.
shit.
So what?
No.
Why? Is it because there are some like county
There's no weight
jails?
rooms, bro. There's
Why,
no more
why
weight
is
rooms.
it that
There was too many riots.
People have the ideas that guys will come out yoked in prison. Are there some that actually have the facilities for this, and people think that it's happening like everywhere?
There used to be a lot.
Or why do people have that perception in their minds?
Back in the day, like 15, 20 years ago, before there was all these riots and people going crazy, there was actually weight rooms, and it showed that they had a more protein nutrient diets
Okay.
back then. And steroids obviously were a case, but you have to understand, like, the steroids that they could take were the ones that are available, like D-ball. You're not gonna get guys that are like gonna, they're gonna take short ester fucking.
Yeah.
EQ.
They're not
Like,
going more
no.
plates, more dates on this
No,
shit. It's
bro,
like
it's not
D-ball,
like-
Clen,
Yeah, it's stuff you could fucking
Test
eat.
400, whatever
Like
the fuck.
ridiculous stuff that you get
Sure.
from Mexico that you can
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
pop
yeah,
in your
yeah.
mouth,
Right,
right?
yeah.
I mean, like Clen, D-ball, Anadrol, stuff like this. So yeah, guys were getting big and puffy, but it's not like they're show prep ready. Like it's not like you're gonna get a fucking, a fucking shredded guy like
Right,
fucking
right.
Phil Heath or something like that. It's
Sure.
not like that at all. So once they removed, there was a fuck ton of riots. This is like before our time. Like
Yeah,
when we
okay.
were
Yeah,
young, early 2000s. A fuck ton of riots and,
And
a lot of guys.
sorry, is this also mainly California centric, or is
No,
this nationwide?
This is like most of the dangerous places that actually had
okay.
weight rooms.
Okay.
People were getting smashed in the head with dumbbells and shit.
Jesus.
Right? Like gang on gang violence.
Yeah.
Even gang on CO violence. There's a lot of that.
Jesus.
So because of that and all the suits, like, what's the point of giving these prisoners fucking rights to work out?
Yeah.
why don't we make a soy-based diet that lowers their testosterone, lowers their aggression, actually inhibits
That's
happiness,
fucking crazy. Yeah.
and makes you borderline fucking depressed? Because if you're not eating legit protein, you're eating soy, your testosterone is down, your estrogen is up, your prolactin's up, your progesterone's up. You're fucking depressed, bro.
Yeah.
You're lactating. If you're fat enough, you're lactating nipples. If you have shitty enough genetics, you're lactating nipples at that point with that much fucking soy. Because you have to understand, 3 square meals a day of fucking soy
Jesus.
all day.
Yeah, yeah.
Milk of soy. Fucking even the hot dogs were soy.
Really?
Turkey hot dogs, bro. They didn't taste like hot dogs.
Christ.
Pudding, soy.
Yeah.
Everything soy.
Yeah, yeah.
Legit.
What the fuck, soy-based diet, man? I can't get over this. Everything was just fucking soy.
And this is proven by science. Like, if you guys want to go into it, like, go look it up. But
No, I believe the
It's
the
just-
whole proteen deficient diet, 100% is going to lead
you're
to
gonna be
problems.
depressed.
Yeah,
and
I believe that for sure.
So, you know, there's a lot of that going on. And what was the other part of that question? Is another part of that? No. Is that-
Well, no, I was just kind of basically alluding to the whole, like, why the fuck do people think that people are getting yoked out of prison and all that stuff? Like, where does that come from? Like,
Yeah, it's mostly movie shit,
Right.
bro. It's mostly movie shit. And after the Suez, man, they kind of stopped that. There's no benefit for them to
Probably
open up a weight room for us.
well, the other one, I guess, was the whole. I guess prisons are constructed differently nowadays, right? Because the whole idea
It's-
of there being like a general, like the Gen Pop yard, like
Yeah.
the big one, where like, you know,
It's too hard to control that.
right. So, I guess the only ones that
Too
still
many
have that
variables.
are like the older prisons, maybe.
No.
Or,
I'll tell you,
or do yards just not exist anymore, like the big ones?
it's not the same. It's a if you're at a high enough danger level,
Yeah.
you don't have those rights. Even at the yards that they have
I see.
those rights, right? You're talking about more mediocre, not as aggressive felonies.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a guy that worked for a drug pin multiple times and he got caught, he would
Yeah,
go there,
yeah.
right? Guys wear oranges there. It's like that's the norm,
Yeah.
right? It's not reds, it's not yellow like Marshall level. It's no.
Right,
You're not
right.
doing life and you're going on the yard. This is not how it works.
What was do you remember the
And if you are doing life and you're going in the yard, that's because of good behavior over years.
right? Yeah.
It's not like some regular guy just killed 2 kids and they're just going outside. Like,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
It's not how it works.
That reminds me of bringing up the kids thing. What's the term for the guys that are because you have Gen Pop and you have the protected
PC?
PC? Yeah.
Yeah.
So the PC guys, where the fuck were they?
They were in a complete different unit.
Completely different. So you
Some
would have
of
never
them-
even
most-
seen them.
No, because
Okay.
you'd attack on instinct. Those guys, you're taught to attack on
What
instinct.
color are they?
Um,
Do they have colors at all?
they wear. When you go to PC, it really varies. From
Right.
what I saw, they wear blues because they are in protective custody. To get into protective custody, you need to do either some insane shit, be rich, or like be unaffiliated. Like you were affiliated and then you became unaffiliated.
Oh, so that you're at
You're-
high risk to like be killed.
You're basically
Yeah.
you're dishonorable.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you're not a risk to the COs.
No, but I mean like you're a risk in the sense that you're gonna get
You're gonna
killed.
get
Yeah,
wrecked.
Yeah.
And I wanna take a quick glimpse of what prison, like what deans of prison want from prison. Like what's the graph? What do they want to project onto prisons?
Mm-hmm.
What they want to project onto prisons is get more bang for their buck per prisoner from the feds. They want to do is, do you have another battery?
Yeah.
All right, cool. What they want to do is they want to make it seem like they're feeding you the best foods. There's all these fucking avenues of learning. You can get your GED, you can do some certification, blah blah blah. All bullshit, bro. They will decide who can. You need to suck up to even get any of these. Like to get a GED in prison, bro, you got to be on good behavior constantly. Like you got to be constantly a goody two shoe all the fucking time, and you gotta like. You really gotta like sell your soul in a way in prison. Like you're not really, you can't be. I didn't see anybody that wasn't in a PCR that could get their GED in the feds. Like it just wasn't.
Right.
Most of the guys that I saw, they were too high level to be trusted to get their GED. Because you have to be in the library, you have to be on a computer, and they won't risk that shit if you're a shitty fucking person.
Right.
So that being said, some of these things that you guys are hearing, like they make it seem like there's all these opportunities, but there really fucking isn't for certain guys, man. And a lot of guys with high enough.
It's very specific use cases.
Yeah. There's so many like small print shit with that stuff. It's not like off the bat, hey, Hector, you want to get your GED? Come on in. Like, no, bro. No.
Great. I've always wanted to get my GED. Can't wait to go to prison.
Yeah. Fuck all that. Yeah. So there was a lot of that. Any other questions?
Yeah, I think there's just one more that I had here was
Travis Scott, dude.
it's good shit, man. I was going to ask you if when you were feeling things out still at the beginning, and we've already kind of discussed it, but when did you first realize that?
I know you're trying to create this question on the go.
No. I had it and I lost it. I'm trying to like get it back to myself because it had to do with like not shock collars, but because we've already discussed shock collars. But I'm trying to think of like what other moments did you notice that you had to respect people around you? Was that just all the time?
When people outside, I'll put it this way. The biggest turnaround on that was when I saw somebody in my crew respecting somebody in a different crew.
Yeah.
And that interests me because I was like, I thought it's hit or be hit against other people, you know?
Yeah.
And then you understand like what that guy did, right? That guy, he had a tortilla night for 50 guys, and he invited guys that weren't his crew.
Right.
Which is against the rules, but he was such a high shot caller that his empathy for other people
was high,
which was the reason that he got his respect gained.
Yeah.
Right? That was interesting. And another thing was people would go missing. And you wouldn't hear really about it. Whether that's they died.
All of a sudden, it's like, oh, I haven't seen Pedro in a while.
Yeah, like you'd say two guys go missing and the one guy come back and the other guy not come back. And you're like, wait, why is this guy constantly coming back, but the other guys he's connected to in a certain situation, they're not coming back?
Yeah.
What is that about? Or you'd see a guy getting into altercation and then with like a big guy.
Yeah.
And then you would see that guy like the next day you wouldn't see him. You'd be like, where'd that guy go?
Yeah.
Where'd that guy go?
Yeah.
But you kept yourself busy because that's a dangerous road to go down, right? You can't
asking
be like
questions and all that shit.
Can't be asking too many questions. That's the whole saying. Like, what's with the questions?
Yeah,
like that's
basically.
Right there, right? You don't want to ask too many questions, but it does get you curious because you'd see COs like completely wiped out. Like you'd see them every day for like 2 months and then gone. Where did this guy go?
Yeah.
What is that vacation pay? What is that? Like, where'd you go, bro?
Yeah.
You'd never see him again. And you'd be like, how the fuck does a CO disappear?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, this guy is like we had like a few COs that were trained for high risk inmates.
Yes.
None of which were female. I'm sorry, ladies, but it's just not a space that you can be a female. Whether you're the strongest butch chick in the world, I don't give a fuck. If I'm coming at you head on as a crazy 200-pound man, you're going down.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Like, you can have all the and this is the thing. SEALs don't have GATs. They don't have they don't have
batons,
any.
That's it.
They don't even have batons.
What? Do they not have batons?
I
anymore?
can take, dude. 3 of me can take the baton away from you and kill you.
That's a good point.
Why the fuck would you?
Totally forgot about that. Why?
Why would you have a baton?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
There's 2 of you at a unit at a time, unless it's some emergency.
Yeah.
There's 150 of us.
Yes.
You know, fuck you and your baton, bro.
Yeah,
you get smashed.
So how do they maintain order then?
Constant surveillance. Constant surveillance. At a blink of an eye, you have 20, 30 COs.
No matter what the fuck's going on.
Pepper spray and shit.
Yeah.
And they had the
rubber bullets.
Rubber bullets, bro.
Will they use that often?
I saw it done once. I got hit with one once.
Because wouldn't it
was bird shots and it was rubber bullets and I mean bird shots, but because like it's not gonna penetrate you.
Yeah, it's not supposed to.
But the explosion wasn't like a buckshot because
Yeah.
gunpowder is the same. The bullets make the difference. the gunpowder, from my familiarity with it, seemed like bird shots.
Right.
So it was multiple. I got decked in the ass. Not really in the ass, but the side hip.
Yeah.
And the dude, it hit the fucking hip bone. Holy fucking dick, Ted.
Really.
Oh my god. I think let's cut it off there, man.
Yeah, we will.
Cut it off there. This has been
Well,
Funny But Foul.
Funny but foul. We will save more questions for the next time, where we will continue.
With a fucking finale, bro.
That's right. That's right.
Fucking
And
finale.
and again, I've been asking the questions as I've been getting them actually from you guys. But as you guys send more in, we'll keep them in mind for the next episode. So stay tuned, stay active, and we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.